have found a quiet place, a safe place. And now it is time to let go of the day you have just finished. Take a slow breath in and slowly let it out. There is nothing you need to solve right now. There is nowhere you need to be. The world outside your door is winding down, and we are going to wind down with it. We are going to take a journey, a long, gentle walk through time. Imagine that the walls of your room are slowly dissolving into a warm evening mist. The floor beneath you is softening, turning into smooth, ancient stone. You are no longer in the modern world. You are a traveler, unbound by centuries. We are going to visit 4 great cities of the human story, not during the noise of their battles or the rush of their markets, but in their most private moment, the threshold between twilight and deep night. We are here to listen to their quietest sounds, to smell the evening air, and to watch the lamps being lit one by one. Prepare your mind to drift. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and let us begin our walk. We begin our walk in Mesopotamia, the cradle of the world. It is a warm evening. The year is near 570 before the Common Era. You are standing on the banks of the mighty Euphrates River, just outside the colossal walls of Babylon. The sun is low. It is not bright yellow anymore. It has turned a deep, dusty copper, hanging just above the horizon. The heat of the long day is rising from the mud brick pavement, mixed with the smell of damp reeds from the river and the slight scent of date palms. You start to walk toward the city. The road is wide. It is known as the processional way. It is made of great slabs of limestone, worn smooth by thousands of pairs of sandals, thousands of carts, thousands of years. Your steps make only a soft, shuffling sound. Hush, hush. As you walk, the immense city walls rise up to meet you. They are not grey stone. They are made of dried mud brick, the color of the desert itself. But as you get closer, you see a path of brilliant color cutting through the beige dust. The entrance to the city is before you, the Ishtar Gate. It is one of the most beautiful sights in the ancient world. Even now, as the light fades, it seems to glow. The gate is covered entirely in glazed bricks of a dazzling sapphire blue. It looks like a huge, solid chunk of the evening sky has fallen to earth. As the copper sunlight hits the blue glaze, it creates a shimmering, watery texture. You stop to look at the details. Moulders onto the blue bricks are hundreds of animals, lions, bulls, and the mythical Sirush dragons. They are colored in pale yellow and white. In the daytime, they look fierce, but in this twilight, they seem almost peaceful, guarding the city as it sleeps. You run a hand over the cool, glass-like surface of a brick. It feels polished, ancient, calm. You pass through the massive archway of the Ishtar Gate. The sound changes. Inside the walls, the city is quieter. The houses are tall, built of the same mud brick, lining narrow, winding streets. These streets are still warm, holding the day's heat like a secret. Through open doorways, you see the warm orange flicker of oil lamps. You hear the soft, domestic sounds of families finishing their evening meal, the quiet murmur of voices, the soft clinking of pottery, the rustle of reed mats being laid out for sleep. The air smells different here, richer, more complex. Date bread, roasting lamb, cedar smoke from small fires. The smell of the river is stronger now as you get closer to the canals that weave through the city like veins. Babylon is a city built on water. You walk over a small arched wooden bridge. Beneath you, a canal flows silently, its surface like black silk. It mirrors the first few stars that have appeared in the eastern sky. The water gently laps against the mud brick banks. Lap, lap, lap. You follow the canal toward the great palace complex. Above the palace walls, something looks wrong, yet magical. A mountain of green rises up against the dusty twilight sky. These are the hanging gardens. They look almost surreal in the fading light. Terraces of stone stacked high, covered in lush, exotic plants that do not belong in the desert. Palms, ferns, cascading vines, flowering trees whose names are known only to the king. In the twilight, the greens have turned to deep, velvety shadows. You can't see the river water being pumped up to the top terraces, but you can hear the results. 1,000 tiny streams are trickling down from one level to the next. It sounds like 1,000 soft voices whispering to each other. Drip, drop, trickle. A cooling mist hangs in the air around the gardens, cutting through the desert heat. You take a slow breath of this cool, damp air. It smells of jasmine and dark, rich soil. You leave the palace and the whispering gardens behind. You are moving deeper into the center of the sacred city. Before you, a massive structure dominates the entire skyline. It is the Etemenanki, the great ziggurat, the house of the foundation of heaven and earth. It is a colossal tower of 7 stacked stages, built of solid brick. In this light, it is a silhouette of geometric darkness. It looks like a stairway built for a god. You do not climb the main stairs. Instead, you enter a small courtyard at the base. It is incredibly quiet here. The air is still. Your presence here feels deliberate, staged. This is not a place for the crowd. This is a place for stillness. At the base, you see a group of men dressed in simple, long, white linen robes. They are the Chaldean astronomers, the keepers of the sky. They are moving slowly, methodically, preparing for their nightly work. They do not speak to each other. They do not need to. You see them carrying small clay tablets and fine reeds for writing. One of them is adjusting a simple bronze instrument aimed toward the horizon. They're getting ready to watch the wandering stars, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, and to record the heartbeat of the cosmos. You find a quiet corner of the courtyard to sit down. The mud brick wall is smooth against your back. Look up. The Babylonian sky has no rivals. Without the lights of the modern world, the darkness is absolute. The dusty atmosphere of twilight has cleared, leaving a dome of impossibly deep obsidian black. And the stars, they are not twinkling, they are blazing. Thousands of steady points of light. They look close enough to touch. You see the great band of the Milky Way, like a river of spilled milk pouring across the center of the sky. The Chaldeans believe the gods speak through the alignment of these stars. Everything is still. The city of Babylon is asleep. The river Euphrates flows silently to the sea. The hanging gardens are whispering in the dark. The blue bricks of the Ishtar gate are cool to the touch, and above it all, the sky watches, unchanging, calm, perfect. Our walk has shifted 1,500 miles to the west and 600 years into the future. It is the height of the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, the age of the emperors. You are standing at the edge of the Forum Romanum, the center of the world. But it is not a busy day of politics and trials. It is evening. The great sun has gone down, leaving a sky the color of a pale, soft lavender. A gentle breeze, the Ponentino, is blowing in from the Tyrrhenian Sea, bringing a slight coolness to the stone city. The massive public buildings are shutting their doors. The immense, columnar temples of Jupiter and Castor are fading into grand shadows of marble. The shops around the Forum have lowered their wooden shutters. The noise of the city, the shouting vendors, the rumbling carts, the political debates, has been replaced by a quiet hum, a peaceful winding down. Your steps turn away from the Forum, leading you through the narrow, crowded streets toward the massive complex of the Thermae, the public baths. Baths like Caracalla's or Diocletian's are small cities within themselves. Even from outside, you can smell the baths, the scent of olive oil, herbal liniments, and wood smoke from the hypocaust furnaces that heat the water. We are too late for the peak of the day. The crowds of senators, soldiers, and merchants have gone home for dinner. The baths are mostly empty now, but they still hold the warmth of thousands of bodies. You walk through the great vaulted halls. Without the crowd, your sandals make a distinct click, clack, echo against the marble floors. Hush, hush. In the tepidarium, the warm room, the air is thick with a calming steam. It smells slightly of lavender and bay leaf. The pool water is still now, mirroring the few oil lamps that have been lit in the wall niches. The light is warm, flickering, intimate. You can almost feel the relaxation of 1,000 tired muscles still lingering in the air. In the frigidarium, the cold hall, the architecture is breathtaking. It is a space of monumental scale. The marble columns look cool and inviting. You listen to the sounds of the water winding down, distant splashing. The last few attendants scraping oil from their masters with bronze strigils. The echo of a final, private conversation. The whole place seems to be sighing, contented, waiting for morning. You leave the echoing baths and walk toward the quieter, residential slopes of the Palatine Hill, where the wealthiest Romans live. These streets are narrow and dark, lined with the blank, windowless outer walls of the domus, private villas. But as you walk, you realize Rome is not a city of darkness at night. It is a city of 1,000,000 tiny flames. Through the grand entrance of a villa, you see the flicker of a lamp. It is a small clay or bronze lamp, fueled by olive oil. Thousands of them are being lit across the city right now, in the apartments, the mansions, the palaces. You stop by the open doorway of a domus and look inside. You are looking into the atrium, the central courtyard. It is open to the lavender sky above. In the center is the impluvium, a square pool that catches the rain. The courtyard is peaceful, geometric, calm. You see a servant moving slowly, methodically, from column to column, lighting small lamps. Each lamp casts a soft, warm pool of amber light on the worn marble floor and the brightly painted red and yellow frescoed walls. The light creates long, geometric shadows that stretch and dance. It is not dramatic lighting. It is controlled, staged, deliberate. You walk away from the atrium, following the sound of the most pervasive sound in ancient Rome. Water. Water is everywhere. It is the blood of the city. You walk by a public fountain. This isn't a monumental Baroque fountain. It's a simple, ancient structure. A marble basin where water flows continuously from a bronze spout shaped like a lion's head. This water has traveled 50 miles from the Apennine Mountains, through underground channels, and over great aqueduct arches to reach you here. It flows day and night. It has a rhythm. Lap, lap, gurgle, spill. The sound of the water is comforting. It is the sound of Rome at rest. It is the sound of time passing slowly, peacefully, unstoppably. You stand there for a moment, just listening. The city hums around you, but this water is a constant, soothing companion. It is fully night now. The sky is dark and clear, though the orange glow of the million lamps reflects softly on the marble buildings below. You walk back toward a vantage point overlooking the Forum. Rome is quiet now. The political intrigue, the ambition, the chaos, it has all fallen silent. You feel a sense of artificial calm, a serene, ordered stillness that the legions have built. The columns stand against the night sky like silent sentinels. The lamps flicker in 1 billion windows. The water flows in 100 fountains. Everything is staged. Everything is in its place. The world is at peace. And you, unbound traveler, are safe to drift. We have traveled to the east across thousands of miles of ocean and hundreds of years. The year is near 1000 of the Common Era. You are standing at the southern end of the great city of Heian-kyo, the capital of peace and tranquility, the forerunner of Kyoto. It is a city of perfect order built in a precise grid pattern based on the Chinese capital of Chang'an. It is vast, flat, and methodical. But it is not a city of stone. It is a city of wood, of paper, of silk, and right now, of rain. A fine, soft rain is falling over Heian-kyo. It has been falling since afternoon, and it shows no sign of stopping. The air is cool, clean, and smells of wet earth, green cedar wood, and pine smoke. The sky is a dark, enveloping grey. You cannot see the sun, only the gradual shift from grey to the deep purple of twilight. The wide, straight avenues are empty, the dark, rich soil wetted by the rain. Your walk makes a soft, rhythmic squish, hush, squish, sound. You walk toward the Imperial Palace complex in the north, past the dark, timber-framed houses of the commoners. But your destination is not the palace. You turn your steps toward the quiet district of the nobility, near the Kamigawa River. Here, the villas are larger, hidden behind dark wooden walls and lush, rain-soaked gardens of moss and bamboo. The windows are made of paper, not glass. The lights are soft. The architecture emphasizes horizontal lines and vertical support posts, creating geometric planes of light and shadow. Stop and listen. You don't hear the crowd. You hear the rain. And you hear something else. Through a closed paper screen, you hear the quiet, unmistakable rustle of silk. A lady of the Heian court, like Sei Shonagon or Murasaki Shikibu, is moving slowly within her private rooms. A noblewoman here may wear 12 distinct layers of silk kimonos. Junihito, whose color combinations are a complex language of poetry and seasonal taste. In the twilight stillness, you hear the whisper of silk against silk as she walks. Shh, shh, shh. The scent of her room drifts out into the rain-wet air. It smells of incense. Each courtier blends their own incense. A secret recipe of aloes wood, cloves, musk, and sandalwood, burnt on small charcoal fires. The scent is heavy, sweet, elegant, deeply calming. Through the paper, you hear a soft, lyrical cadence. Someone is reading poetry aloud. A poem about the transient beauty of the spring rain. The voices are low, slow, melodic, adding another layer of rhythm to the night. You leave the villa and walk deeper into the nobilities district. You have found a quiet temple garden. Heian gardens are not geometric like Rome. They are designed to be strolled through, to present a new, framed view at every turn. This garden is perfect in the rain. It is a sanctuary of silence. You are walking along a winding path of smooth, wet river stones. Listen to the rain. It makes 100 different sounds here. It whispers as it falls on the lush, soft green carpet of moss. Hush, hush, hush. It has a rhythmic patter as it hits the broad, waxy green leaves of the hydrangeas. Pat, pat, pat. It has a sharp, metallic sound as it spills from a copper rain gutter into a stone basin. Chink, chink, splash. You walk across a small, arched wooden bridge. The canal water below is clear, its surface covered in 1,000 expanding circles. Where the raindrops strike, it looks like a living, liquid mosaic. The wet cedar wood of the bridge smells strong and earthy in the cool air. The whole place feels alive yet deeply, unbreakably calm. You follow the garden path to the entrance of a small temple. Its massive wooden roof of cypress bark shingles darkened and heavy with the rain. The temple seems entirely asleep. You hear no chanting, no bells. The only sound is the rain on that immense roof. You walk up the wooden steps. Your steps make a soft, rhythmic groan. The wood is old, polished by centuries of bare feet. Through the main doorway, you look into the absolute darkness of the temple interior. But your eyes adapt. Deep within, you see the faintest flicker of an oil lamp, sitting before a golden statue of the Amida Buddha. The gold of the statue seems to drink the tiny bit of light, glowing with a soft, warm amber radiance that cuts through the blackness. The statue is seated in the mudra of meditation, eyes closed, calm, unsettling in its stillness. The silence here is not empty. It is a full, heavy stillness. The smell of incense lingers here, mixed with the smell of old wood. This is a place beyond the transience of the rain, beyond the court, beyond time itself. You leave the temple and walk back into the garden. The night has deepened. The paper screens of the distant villas are now just faint, geometric squares of warm amber in the dark. The rain continues to fall. Its whisper is your constant companion. The silk has gone still. The poetry reading has finished. The incense is just a faint memory. The Buddha continues his silent meditation. In Heian-kyo, beauty is always tied to ephemerality, to the knowledge that things pass. This night will pass. The rain will stop. But for now, you are safe in this capital of peace, safe to drift in the quiet order of the grid, safe to let go of the day. Our walk has shifted thousands of miles east, across a new ocean, to a new world. The year is 1519. We are in the heart of the Great Basin of Mexico. We are not watching the sun go down. We are standing at the eastern edge of the vast, high-altitude Lake Texcoco, watching the dawn rise. The sky is a clear, cold turquoise. A fine, cool mist is rising from the lake water, veiling the horizon. We are in a city that the Spanish will call a dream, a city built entirely on water. The great peaks of the Sierra Madre are silhouetted against the coming light, including the massive, smoking volcano Popocatépetl. The sun is just starting to clear the mountains, turning the cold turquoise sky into warm lemon yellow and soft pink. You are standing on a long, wide causeway of paved stone. Thousands of people are arriving at the same time. The city of Tenochtitlan is waking up. They are moving onto the causeways from the mainland, not in carts. They have no horses or wheels. but walking, carrying goods on their backs, or, most of all, arriving by canoe. You are not walking into the center of the religious district, but toward the northern marketplace of Tlatelolco. It is the heart of the city, and it wakes up at dawn. The sound of Tenochtitlan is not a quiet hum. It is a massive, complex, rhythmic hum, a symphony of trade. Thousands of people are already in the great square. Vendors from every part of the empire have been paddling their canoes all night to get here. It is a festival of color, bold, flat plains of color. You see vendors arranging mountains of tomatoes, baskets of bright green chili peppers, white bags of maize, yellow avocados, and the fabrics, cotton mantles dyed in turquoise, scarlet, yellow, and blue, woven into geometric patterns that match the architecture of the temples. You smell the city. It smells of chili peppers, maize, smoke from hundreds of small fires, fresh flowers, and damp lake water. Through the crowd, you hear the rhythmic clack, clack, clack of a stone metate as women grind maize for tortillas. The ting-ting of copper being hammered into ornaments. The low rumble of a small clay drum. This market is not chaotic. It is ordered, deliberate. You see the Pocteca, the hereditary guild of merchants, moving slowly through the crowd, inspecting goods, overseeing the trades. Everything here has its place, its rhythm. You walk through the colorful corridors, feeling the energy of a world that believes its survival depends on a daily, choreographed act of creation. You leave the vibrant chaos of the market and walk toward the residential Chinampa districts. You have found the secret source of the city's food. Tenochtitlan is not built on stone. It is built on mud, on reeds, on the Chinampas. These are the floating gardens, but they are not actually floating. They are artificial islands built by weaving fences of reeds and filling them with mud dredged from the lake bottom. Over centuries, they have become solid, incredibly fertile land. You are sitting in a small, hollowed-out log canoe, being paddled slowly and silently through the network of narrow canals. This is a private, still world. Above you, the long, rectangular fields of Chinampas are lush and green. They are covered in thriving rows of maize, squash, and beans, their edges stabilized by towering huexotl, willow trees, whose roots bind the soil to the lake bed. In this cold morning mist, the field seems suspended between water and sky. The willow trees rise up against the turquoise twilight like silent sentinels, watching the field sleep. Everything here is horizontal and vertical. The long fields, the upright trees, the still water. It feels recognizable, a domestic setting, but subtly wrong. A staged landscape of artificiality rendered in rich graphic colors. You breathe in the damp, cool air. You follow the canals toward the center of the city. Before you, a monumental structure dominates the sky. The Templo Maya, the Great Pyramid, the center of the Aztec universe. It is fully day now. The sky is bright, saturated, unapologetic in its clarity. The great double pyramid made of stuccoed stone painted in bold, saturated reds, blues, and whites rises up toward the sun. To the left is the temple of Huitzilopochtli, the god of sun and war, and to the right is Tlaloc, the god of rain. You can hear a distant, slow, resonant drumbeat coming from the temple square. Boom, boom, boom. It is the heartbeat of the city. A deliberate, controlled signal that the daily sacrifice has been made, that the sun has risen, and that the cosmos will survive for one more day. You do not climb the stairs. You look up at the pyramid, seeing the bold planes of the paint against the clear sky. Everything feels deliberate. Everything feels staged. The city of Tenochtitlan, this impossible vision of stone and mud built on water, exists only because of this daily act of faith. It is now evening again. The twilight sun has turned Popocatépetl smoke to a dusty coral pink. We have watched Tenochtitlan wake up, and now we will watch it fall asleep. You walk back to the causeway. The immense market hum has faded to a quiet murmur. The Pochdecker are packing their remaining goods. The copper hammering has stopped. The mist is rising again from Lake Texcoco. The willow trees on the Chinampas are turning back into black silhouettes. The canals are silent now, mirroring the few lamps that flicker in the windows of the villas. The Templo Mayor stands against the lavender sky. Everything is in its place. The heart of the cosmos has beaten. The city will sleep, and you, unbounded traveler, are safe to drift with it. You have finished your walk. You have seen the sapphires of Babylon, the marble of Rome, the silk of Heiankyo, and the water gardens of Tenochtitlan. These 4 great cities are asleep. The people who lived in them, who built them, who lit the lamps and watched the stars, they have all gone to rest. The sounds you heard, the water lapping, the rain on the roof, the whisper of silk, the drumbeat, they are all echoes now, private memories that have dissolved into silence. And now it is time for you to dissolve with them. You have left the ancient world behind. It is gone. The copper sunlight is gone. The lavender twilight is gone. You are back in your own room, but the walls are still soft. The air is still calm. You are holding the stillness of those ancient courtyards within you. You are carrying the order of the grid, the rhythm of the water, and the vast watching sky inside your mind. You have nothing to solve. You have nowhere you need to be. The night is yours. Feel the bed beneath you. It is smooth stone. It is a mat of woven reeds. It is a silk kimono. It is cool earth. You are safe. You are unbound. You are at rest. Let go of the breath. Let go of the time. Let go of the world. Good night.